Good morning, my dear students. Today we have started our first chapter in biology, that is nutrition in plants. Before studying about nutrition, we must know the importance of eating food. We know that all the life processes of living organisms are depending upon the energy that they get from food, isn't it? So the life processes include respiration, digestion, absorption, all that breathing, etc. That life processes are based on the food that we get from the energy that we get from food. So the food that contains different types of components like carbohydrates are there, proteins, vitamins, fats, all those components must be there in the food that we eat. So that components are together, or it is collectively called as nutrients. And what is meant by nutrition? The process of by which that food is taken by the organism, its digestion, absorption and its proper utilization by the body is called as nutrition. What is meant by nutrition? Nutrition is the process by which the food is taken by the organism and its digestion, absorption and utilization by the body are called as nutrition. Both plants and animals must have the proper nutrition for maintaining their lives. For nutrition, they require sufficient quantity of food. So nutrition in organisms are classified into two types. First one is autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, and the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. These are the two types of nutrition found in organisms. What is meant by autotrophic nutrition? It is also called as self-nutrition, in which the organism make their own food material by using simple substances like carbon dioxide and water are called as autotrophic nutrition. All green plants and some bacteria are autotrophic in nature. And the organisms that follow the autotrophic mode of nutrition are called as autotrophs. So the all green plants and some bacteria are autotrophs. Okay, and the next thing is heterotrophic nutrition. Some organisms did not have the ability to make their own food. Instead, they will depend on green plants for obtaining food. So that kind of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. The organisms that have the heterotrophic nutrition are called as heterotrophs. Okay, the organism, the animals and some of the non-green plants are the example for heterotrophs. Okay, these are the two types of nutrition. And the next thing that we have discussed was about photosynthesis. The term photosynthesis was coined by the scientist Charles Reid Burness in 1893. And the photosynthesis is the process of food preparation by the green plants. Simply we can say the food that is prepared by green plants are called as the process of food preparation of food by green plants are called as photosynthesis. And photosynthesis is occur inside the leaves of a plant. And inside the leaf, there are tiny small structures called chloroplast are present. And inside the chloroplast, there is a green colored pigment called chlorophyll is present. And chlorophyll helps to trap the sunlight that is necessary for photosynthesis. We know that sunlight is a necessary component for carrying out the photosynthesis by green plants. So that sunlight is being trapped by chlorophyll present inside the chloroplast. Okay, so we can define photosynthesis as the process by which the green plants prepare their own food material from carbon dioxide and water by using solar energy with the help of chlorophyll is called as photosynthesis. Okay, so that is the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis occur only with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, and the byproduct of photosynthesis are glucose and oxygen. So we can write the equation of photosynthesis as 6CO2 plus 6H2O gives C6H12O6, that is glucose plus O2, oxygen. And here we can write sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, this is the equation for photosynthesis. 6CO2 means carbon dioxide plus 6H2O. H2O means water, that gives C6H12O6, which means glucose, and O2. O2 means oxygen in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, this is the equation for photosynthesis. And the food that is prepared by photosynthesis is glucose, and it is present in the leaves. So that from the leaves it is to be transferred, or it is to be transported to the various parts of the plant body. So that is done with the help of a special tissue called phloem. Phloem helps to transport the food material that is prepared by photosynthesis from the leaves to the various part of the plant. And in that situation, glucose is converted to, or glucose is changed to sucrose. Sucrose. It is also a carbohydrate. Glucose is a simple carbohydrate, but sucrose is a complex carbohydrate. And when the transportation of sucrose occurs, it is done with the help of a special tissue called the phloem. From the leaves to the various part of the plant, the food material, that is sucrose, is being transported. Okay, and extra glucose is stored in the various parts of the plant in the form of starch. Starch is also a complex carbohydrate. Extra glucose that is being stored in the various part of the plant in the form of starch. Okay, and let's see what are the requirements for photosynthesis in very detail. The first requirement is water and mineral. We know that from the root, the water and mineral should reach us in the leaves. Then only photosynthesis will occur. So from the root to the leaves, it is water and mineral is transported with the help of another special tissue present inside the plant, which is called as xylem vessels. Xylem vessel. Okay, xylem vessel helps to transport water and minerals that is being absorbed by the root to the leaves of a plant. Okay, xylem vessel helps to conduct. It acts like a pipe to conduct the water and minerals. And this process, the process of conduction or the process of absorption of water and minerals by the roots occur with the help of a process called osmosis. Osmosis. So osmosis occur in the roots of a plant, which means that the movement of water molecule from the soil to the roots occur. In the soil, there is higher concentration of water, and in the root, there is lower concentration of water. So from the higher concentration, water moves to its lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. And that process is called as osmosis. I repeat, through a semi-permeable membrane, is a membrane of tissue, water moves from its higher concentration, where the higher concentration the soil have the higher concentration of water, to the lower concentration. The roots have the lower concentration. So from the soil to the roots, water moves through a semi-permeable membrane, and that process is called as osmosis. Okay, these are the things that we have discussed today, and the rest we will discuss in our next class. Thank you.